Hi, it's Dr. Mark here today from Healthy Living Institute, and what I want to do is talk to you about your medications that you take on a daily basis. A lot of people don't realize that taking medications will actually cause depletion of your nutrients. So we're going to visit about that, and we'll kind of get specific on this today. So right now we know that 73% of everybody 55 to 75 are taking at least one drug. In Minnesota, the average person fills 14 prescriptions every year. So we're using a lot of medications. In fact, in the United States, we take more medication than the next 22 countries combined. So we have to look at that all drugs have side effects in the body. And one of the big things that they do is it blocks and it depletes our essential micronutrients. These are the nutrients that keep our body healthy and allow us to not get disease. So very, very important that we put those nutrients back in if we're taking medications. So I want to get specific, and let's talk about statins now. So first we want to talk about how statin drugs deplete our nutrients. Statin drugs are one of the most popular things to try to reduce cholesterol in the body. And so when they're reducing cholesterol, they're also reducing CoQ10. CoQ10, in my opinion, should be given to anyone that's on a statin drug because that's one of the first things it does. And CoQ10 is important for all of your muscles, including your heart. But that's where one of the biggest symptoms that happen with that is you start getting muscle pains and aches because we don't have CoQ10 in the body. Second of all is beta carotene and vitamin A. So those are super important for people that have vision issues. It works a lot with your eye and your skin, so we don't want that depleted. B vitamins, those are your stress vitamins, and particularly B12 is depleted, which is the thing that gives us more energy. So we can become fatigued and tired. Folic acid, birth defects, things like that are very important. Phosphorus, that's for people that get up out of the chair, and when they get up, it takes about 3 or 4 steps for them to get going. They're real tight. It means that calcium is depositing into their muscles and joints, and they're getting too much calcium in the system, and we need more phosphorus to get that calcium out of solution. Next thing is vitamin E. Vitamin E is super important for our heart. Vitamin K1 and 2. K1 keeps the blood thin. So that's like in leafy green vegetables. K2 is another fat-soluble vitamin that attaches to calcium and drives calcium along with vitamin D into the proper spot, like into your muscles, into your bones, and not into your arteries and clogging them up. Zinc works with 300 different functions in our body, particularly important for our immune function. And then vitamin D, which is super important. It's kind of like a traffic cop, and it tells everything else what to do, plus it boosts up our immune system. And then magnesium and calcium, very, very important for all of our muscles, our sleep, bowels, just about everything, bones, everything in your body. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at diuretics. A lot of times people use that when you have high blood pressure or you're retaining fluid in the body. So a diuretic pulls water out of the system, causes you to urinate more frequently. When you do, you deplete all of your minerals. So if we drink large amounts of waters, the minerals are going to come with it. So we have to put the minerals back in. B1 is the one that really gets depleted very rapidly with these diuretics. And B1 is very important to support blood pressure or blood sugar metabolism. For people that are diabetics, this B1 is crucial. And when we lose that, it can affect their blood sugar. So a lot of people have chronic pain. They get aches and pains, they get headaches a lot. They've got chronic back pain or shoulder pain, knee pain. So they use NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory like Tylenol, acetaminophen, those types of things. Unfortunately, they cause stomach bleeding. and they cause kidney damage. If we take it once every 4 days, we increase our kidney damage by about 4 times what you normally would get. 16,000 people die every year from these over-the-counter, which seem to be harmless, medications. And they pull out a lot of our nutrients and our micronutrients in our body. We recommend using Gastrozyme to heal up the gut. Especially if you're using an NSAID, it will help to heal this bleeding in here. Intenzyme Forte is very good to get rid of inflammation out of the body and pain, along with the omega-3s. Work very good to soothe and reduce chronic pain in the body. So you do have some alternatives to taking those over-the-counter NSAIDs all the time. Okay, so one of the most popular things that women use for birth control pills is oral contraceptives. So oral contraceptives can cause, first of all, strokes. I recently know a young gal in her early 20s that had stroke after using oral contraceptives. Inability to conceive after use. After they've used it for a number of years, it can throw off the system, so they are having a very difficult time being able to conceive when they want to become pregnant. Deficiencies are beta carotene, which is a kind of a type of vitamin A. All these different B vitamins, folic acid, biotin, vitamin C, magnesium, zinc, tryptophan, and tyrosine, which are very important nutrients as well. So we can see that birth control pills really cause a lot of depletion of your nutrients. So very important to put those back in and if you're going to be on birth control pill. All right. In this country also have a lot of people that are having trouble with depression, anxiety issues, that type of problem. They normally start in the gut with gut issues because that's where a lot of the serotonin, 90% of it's made in the gut, shipped to the brain along with a lot of other neurotransmitters. But we call them selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. That's what people are using. They're called antidepressant drugs. And they deplete a lot of your B vitamins. And the B vitamins are needed to handle stress. They are your stress vitamins, so very important to put them back. Folic acid, vitamin D for your immune system and everything else going on in your system, sodium in your body, and essential fatty acids. So essential fatty acids, we call them brain food. So we need to have those to help fight against the depression and the anxiety that's going on there. So if you're on these type of medications, you need to put these nutrients back in your system to fight against any depletion, okay? So one of the fastest growing diseases in our country is diabetes now, type 2 diabetes. It's going through the roof, and one of the issues is that we're eating way too much sugar. The average American's eating a 150-pound bag of sugar every year. Now, diabetic medications like metformin are the first thing that they normally give. And these things deplete CoQ10, folic acid, and B12 out of the system. So if you're on metformin or these types of medications, anything like that, you definitely want to put this back into your system along with some of the micronutrients. Okay, so now let's take a look at antibiotics. These are one of the most overprescribed medications out there. Even the doctors are being told to cut back on using them for every little thing. And because most of the antibiotics that we receive come from our food. They're given to the livestock, and then we ingest them through milk, through meats, that type of thing. But these antibiotics going to deplete all these different B vitamins, biotin, inositol, vitamin K, and your probiotics. So they kill off all this natural gut flora that keeps our immune system healthy, helps to digest our food, helps to make our different things like our neurotransmitters for our brain, like serotonin. all those are made by these good bacteria, and it wipes them out. So that's one of the biggest problems that we're seeing for people having health issues, is having these wiped out by antibiotics. So many people are taking multiple medications at a time. They'll take anywhere from 3, and the most I've ever seen is 23 medications in one person per day. So these medications all have side effects, and we don't know what they do when they work together. We don't know, but we do know they're going to deplete minerals, and oftentimes they affect the brain with Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, which is really a fast-growing area of disease. 1 out of 7 adults are getting dementia right now. They predict by the year 2030, that's about 10 years from now, 1 out of 3 people will get Alzheimer's. So our goal is to prevent this. And now I want to present to you some solutions that you can do. All right, so I always like to leave you with a solution. We know what's going on with the problem, depleting your nutrients. How do we get healthier? Well, this is a solution. First, in order to get nutrients back in, number 1 is your diet, your food. So we should have about 7 cups of vegetables every day, about 2 to 3 servings of fruits. We should have a handful of nuts, seeds, as long as you don't have an allergy to them. We should have some good protein every day, about 4 to 6 ounces per meal. And we should also stay away from a lot of the bad carbs, the junk food carbs that deplete those nutrients, like sugar. And we can have a little bit of good carbs in there for energy as well. The Mediterranean diet has been proven to have the most centenarians, or people that live to be 100. So this is a really good protocol to use. You can look that up online. Essential fatty acids, or brain food, really good for the brain, to support the brain. And also, every cell membrane in your body needs essential fatty acids. So really good for everything as far as inflammation, arthritis, those kinds of things. Micro Daily. If you have not watched the video with me and interviewing Dr. Prasad, please contact our office and watch that. It is such a wealth of knowledge in there, and there's so much information. But the Micro Daily is an anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and micronutrients that protect the body from all kinds of diseases. So if you want to prevent sickness and disease and put those nutrients back in, if you are using your medication, and by the way, never just go off your medication. I'm not telling you to do that. Very important that you work with your doctor for that. But if you're going to be taking those, you want to put these micronutrients back in your system to protect you. The other one is Brain Boost. I already told you how many people are having issues with brain issues, brain fog, memory problems. It's getting worse and worse. We can prevent this because it's a special formulation developed for the Department of Defense for people that had PTSD, brain injuries, brain concussions, all kinds of memory issues, that type of thing. It's got things like resveratrol in it, CoQ10. It's got alpha-lipoic acid in there, curcumin, all these different things that help to get rid of inflammation and work together with the Micro Daily. Exercise, very important that we increase circulation and that we get movement every day. Get up and move, walk around, change positions. Don't stay in that sedentary position all day. And then also sleep. Sleep is where we repair. 80% of our healing occurs when we sleep. So we should get to bed somewhere around 10 o'clock if we at all possible, and get up somewhere around 6. The best healing sleep goes from 10 until 2. So it's very important to get a good night's sleep to repair and heal the body. Stress reduction, like meditation, prayer, those kinds of things are extremely important to relax and reduce stress, reduce the cortisol levels in our body. And finally, hydration. We need good, pure water that doesn't have a bunch of chemicals, chlorine, fluoride, all those things in it. So we need good quality water. I recommend at least 6 to 8 ounce glasses of water per day. It depends on if you're working out a lot, you might need a little bit more. And if you've got a lot of vegetables and fruits with water in them, you may not need quite as much water. Be sure to drink your water in between the meals and not a lot with the meals so it doesn't affect your digestion also. So these are some solutions. I'm going to put a link on the bottom here so that those of you that are wanting to take action right away, which I believe, you can get the Micro Daily and the Brain Boost. It'll have that. And then we have a link also that you can go to our site and you can pick up the optimal EFAs, or what we call Bio 3 Mega. Those are super nutrients that are easy to use, and they're excellent for your health. So I think we've covered everything today. Be sure, if you like this, to pass it on to others, and have a blessed day.